What's good, my peoples? So today is September 10th, 2025. It's exactly a year to the date since my accident. I'm out filming outside today. It's actually a beautiful day. I was hoping to be able to film outside today. We had some overcast this morning, but it ended up clearing up. Unfortunately, with where I'm filming at, there's a lot of gunshots and traffic going on behind me, so hopefully this video is clear and quality so I can get my point across. So like I said, it's been a year to date since I've had my accident, so I just wanted to check in with you guys and show you guys and tell you guys how I'm doing and let you see how things are. Man, it's hard to believe that it's been a year already. It's crazy to think that just a year ago I had my accident, scared the shit out of myself and everybody else, family, friends, you know, was in the hospital for 2 weeks, the rehab facility for 2.5 weeks, and not really sure how and where things were going to end up. But to be standing here a year later and being able to make this video and share this with you guys, it really means a lot to me, and I appreciate all the love and the support that I've gotten from everybody out there. I know I've said this previously in other videos, but I cannot stop thanking people enough, family and friends. I'm going to make a series of videos here to follow up, so I'm going to try and keep this one short and sweet, but I'm going to do a series of videos to follow this one up. And I'm going to do a video specifically and especially just for thanking everybody because of the amount of people, the amount of effort, goodwill, and humanity that people put out there. I want people to understand and recognize that there still are good people. There still is humanity out there. Not everybody is a Karen or a Chad. Not everybody is out to try and screw somebody over. There's a lot of good people out there. You just have to surround yourself with those people. And luckily, the people that I have surrounded myself with over these last several years have proven to me why I keep them in my inner circle, why they keep me in their inner circle. To be able to reciprocate the love, respect, and appreciation, and keep that a two-way street. I just want to make sure that everybody understands and respects that, and that's going to be an entirely different video. So back to this one though, about it being a year later. I'm going to have a couple clips of myself walking around and just kind of explain and walk myself through what you guys are seeing. When I ended up leaving the rehab facility, I was actually unable to walk. I know in the previous video I did, I showed you guys my AFOs and what I was doing to help aid myself walk, still using the wheelchair, stuff like that. But when I ended up leaving the rehab facility, I actually could not walk under my own free will. My legs weren't supporting my weight, and I still didn't have the balance really to support myself. So to date, my feet have gotten better as far as movement goes. I can actually move my feet down, I can move my feet in, and I've been able to wiggle my big toes down a little bit. As soon as I start getting more movement in the downward range, I'll be able to walk. I'll be able to walk freely without any aid, hopefully without the aid of anything. So the plan is to be able to get to the point where I can actually move my toes and my feet enough to where I don't have to necessarily walk with using the aid of anything. However, with that being said, when I left the rehab facility, couldn't walk, so I have to still continue to use the AFOs. I use my hand crutches to get around. I'm actually quite quick at this point in time with my AFOs. I actually can get around fairly well without using my AFOs. So like I said, when I left the rehab facility, couldn't really walk underneath, under the weight of my own feet. So to be able to get back to a point where I'm at now, to where I can actually walk freely, to walk about as freely as I do, is actually really nice. So the first video I'm going to show you here is me walking without any AFOs or the support of anything. Now, as you saw in the video, with me walking, the reason I don't have a shirt on is I want to be able to show you guys how my body moves in relation to probably what most of you or most people who generally walk don't even think about it. How you generally walk and your core doesn't necessarily move that much. When you see me walking without anything on, you can actually see I look like a drunk toddler walking that's maybe learned how to sashay a little bit. So if you notice, because I can't really put the weight on my feet and use my feet to walk, I have to use my knees and my hips a lot. So what that causes me to do is walk side to side with that sashay motion, which really bothers my back, which is part of why when I do walk around the house, I try to always have my cane handy. That way I can keep my core a little bit more straight. Like I said, once I start getting that wobble going side to side, it really starts to play with my back and actually really bothers my hips a lot. Now this next video is me walking with my cane. Now as you can see, I still have my AFOs on. I generally, when I walk with my cane without the AFOs, it's a lot more support than me walking without the cane, obviously. I'm able to support my weight on the cane, which takes some of it off of my legs, especially my right leg. But as you can see in the video, with me having the AFOs on and using the cane, I'm able to keep my body and my core a little bit more straight. There's less sashay going on, which doing that and using the cane helps keep me straight so it doesn't hurt my back as much. Now in the next video you see I'll be using my hand crutches. So as you can see progressively, from me walking without using anything and how unstable I kind of was, the next one with me walking with my AFOs and the cane, I'm a little bit quicker, a little bit more sure-footed. But then as you can see, with me using my AFOs and my hand crutches, I'm real stable on my feet. I'm able to keep my balance, and I actually have a lot more speed that I can use to get around. Now, with that being said, I'm getting more feeling and more movement back in my legs and my feet, which is awesome. There's a lot of pain associated with that, which, as painful as it is, I don't mind it, because that's letting me and my body and my brain know that my feet are waking up. I'm getting the feelings and the sensations back. The pain that's there is kind of letting me know, like, hey, your foot's awake. So it can be a little unbearing sometimes, but you got to take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? You got to take the bad with the good. With me getting more feeling back and more sensation back, the downside to that is like I said, with me first getting out of the rehab facility, I couldn't walk and use my legs very well. So when I first got out and I went around everywhere, I was using the walker, and then once I transitioned to the hand crutches, I was using them to get around the stores and everything like crazy. My kids were trying to keep up with me. I was just excited and happy to be alive, be up and moving, and be in the store and being able to utilize my legs and walking. However, with me getting more feeling and sensation back, some of that pain is unbearable and I can't last on my legs and my feet as long as I would like to. So I've actually found that now when I go to the grocery store or wherever we're going, I tend to use the handicap parking spots. When I first got out, I was like, fuck that, I'm not using them. We'll park like I'm normal. I'll walk into the store. I was able to do that when I didn't have as much feeling in my legs, but now that I have more feelings, I have to park closer, and I definitely use the electric scooters when I'm riding around in the store, which allows me to get around better and easier. And when you have hand crutches and you're pushing a shopping cart, it gets a little bit too much. You're trying to do too much. So using the cart actually allows me to be able to get around and shop without having the hassle of trying to also push something with my hands already full. My kids especially love it when I'm riding the cart around and I throw that baby in the reverse and you get that loud beep, 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 beep echoing throughout the store. Oh, they go nuts over that. They try to leave me in the aisle all the time, which is funny because I'll just chase them down with my little electric cart. Some of the downsides that I still have to deal with, I mentioned in the previous video that when I'm laying down, I have to have a pillow between my legs because of the bone on bone. My knees, when they touch each other, it hurts a lot. So now that my hips and my ass, or lack thereof, have also woke up a little bit more, unfortunately, with my legs atrophying as fast as they did and me losing all the muscle tone and fat that I had in my legs and ass, there's nothing there anymore. One of the biggest downfalls, obviously, aside from me not being able to walk and the accident happening, one of the biggest downfalls in my eyes is the fact that I lost my ass. I used to pride myself on my little bubble butt, but now that I don't have one, sitting on anything becomes a little bit unbearable. So I have to constantly have a cushion with me if we're going out to eat, if we're going somewhere and I have to sit down somewhere. Luckily, most theaters nowadays, like movie theaters, the seats are padded, but some of the museums and stuff I've gone to with the kids, like benches, restaurants, most restaurants nowadays, it's easier, cheaper, and cleaner to keep a wood seat, a wood stool, or a wood bench without any padding on it. So I have to make sure that I have a pad with me. Unfortunately, I don't always remember. Luckily, most of the time, staff and employees at these businesses are usually kind enough to try and get either some towels, dish rags, or something that they have, a pillow nearby that I can sit on, which is always nice to see that, humanity isn't completely lost and thrown to the wayside. So as you guys can see, I'm a little bit more mobile than I was, as you can see through the progression of the videos. I can get around a lot easier and a lot better than I did when I left the rehab facility. So I'm glad that I've been able to work up to that point. So like I said, guys, I just wanted to keep this video short and sweet. I just wanted to show you how far I've come, the progress I've made, the strength I've been able to build back. I've been able to really push my body, and the doctors, every time I go in, are amazed at the progress I've made, amazed where I'm at, surprised to see that I'm at that spot, and excited to see how much further I'm ready and willing to go. A lot of that is because I get pushed. Mentally I push myself because I want to be strong, but I'm also getting pushed by everybody in my support group that wants to see me do better, that wants to see me succeed and get back to maybe being that 100% back to where I was a year ago before the accident happened. Unfortunately, the chicken legs still do exist. Even though I go to the gym regularly and work out regularly, I really try to push my legs in the exercises that I do, but without me having the full movement in my feet, I can't exactly build up the muscle in my calves the way that I would like to, as well as the rest of my quads and my hamstrings. I've been able to get those to come back some, but comparatively to the rest of my body, it's just not there yet. It's just, I look like a grown-ass man on top of an underdeveloped teenager, is what it tends to look like. So I'm just going to continue to keep working and trying to get the movement in my feet back, my toes and into my feet. And once we get there with that, I'll be able to start working more on my calves and my legs and get the full trunk of the entire leg built back up and be as strong as the rest of my body is. So with that being said, keep a lookout for the rest of the videos. Like I said, I'm going to do a couple series of videos here just to kind of show you guys like a day in the life, my thank yous, some of the downsides that I have to deal with on a regular basis, including some of the handicap spots you got to fight for. But that's another topic for another day. I just want to say much love to everybody. I got mad respect for you, and thank you.